So it's true. I used to live in Montreal. I lived here for 7 years, and then I had to move to Toronto. I know, I'm a traitor, okay? But I had to go because I went to the doctor, and he told me that I had an allergy to fun. So I moved to Toronto, and I'm much healthier there. I'm just kidding. Toronto's actually a great city now. It's gotten a lot more fun in the past 10 years. But there is still a puritanical vibe to everything that happens there, right? This year, some big news happened, which was that they updated the sex ed curriculum in Ontario, okay? And people freaked out. They hadn't updated the sex ed curriculum in 20 years. It was since 1998. And a lot has changed sexually in 20 years. They used to only teach the missionary position. Now they also teach positions for women. Like the vibrator. No, and they're talking about masturbation now in the 6th grade. They used to talk about masturbation in the 8th grade. Now they're talking about it in the 6th grade. But this is where Toronto gets crazy. Some of the parents got so upset that they kept their kids home in protest of the new curriculum. They were like, Bobby, no, you're not going to school today because if you go to school, you're gonna learn something I don't want you to learn. Instead, I'd like you to go to your room and play by yourself. Bobby has all the school supplies he needs in his pants. They're also teaching consent in the new sex ed curriculum. That's good, right? Consent. Some of you are into that, and the rest of you are like, I prefer assault. No, I think it's great that they're teaching consent, but again, the parents got upset because they're starting to talk about consent in the 1st grade. And the active imagination of the conservatives went crazy, because I admit that sounds weird. How are you gonna teach consent in the 1st grade? And I'm sure they're picturing some weird stuff with a teacher and a student, but that's not what it's like, because consent doesn't have to be sexual, right? There are tons of ways you can teach consent in the 1st grade, right? You have 2 little kids. You say, hey, Bobby, ask Susie if you can borrow her crayons. If she says yes, it means you can borrow her crayons. If she says no, it means she's a frigid bitch. I'm Rebecca Kohler, thank you so much. Have a great night.